Hey, good morning, everybody. I wanted to take a moment today to talk about you and the power of you. So I've written on the board here a few topics that I have spoken on over the last couple of years. Another one that comes to mind is your breath is the gateway. So not in any order or anything, but your breath is the gateway, right? Begins with you. What do you want to create is another topic I spoke on before. Again, focused on you. The power of your words. Again, focused on you. Love what makes you, you. And saying yes to you, which is actually the first topic that I spoke on after not having spoken publicly in 20 years, was saying yes to you. And I picked that one specifically because in that moment I was saying yes to myself. I felt this call, I felt this movement, I felt this something internal within me. I knew I'd always loved speaking, but I was busy with other things in life. So the story goes, right? And the first thing, when I felt this call again, when I really felt this call, I spoke on saying yes to you, because that can show up in a number of different ways. But what I want to point out here is that every single one of these begins with you, right? You, in this regard, are the center of the universe, the center of your life, the center of your world. And that is a very powerful thing. Recording this morning came up because I was thinking about this statement. You are responsible. Or you are accountable. Now that could feel very heavy. When you hear you are responsible, it's like, oh my gosh, maybe you might think I have enough responsibilities in life. I don't need to be responsible for anything else, right? But if we just focus on the you aspect, this is what's important. This is where all of your power lives. You. Because when you go and you interact in the world, whatever your world consists of, right? You are always there. You are the one that is present in that moment. Any relationship that you have, whether it's with a person, whether it's with a job, whether it's with a thing or an object, a relationship with this marker here, right? We are in, a true reality here is we are in relationship with everything. Because in some capacity, we are all connected back to the one, right? But the beauty of things like you are responsible, you are accountable, means that you are the one that has the power in your life. So let's just say you equals power. And we're not talking about power over another or domineering over another, not that type of power. We're talking about you are the one that has the ability to change and to do anything that you want to do in life. Everything begins with you. It's that simple. So many times we want to say, well, I can't do this because of X, Y, Z, or, well, this happened because that person did this, and my life is just, it just is what it is, you know. And The victim mindset in most of us is so ingrained and so conditioned in us that we don't even hardly realize it. We have this feeling lots of times that we're a victim to our circumstances, a victim to the situations of life. Now, does life have its own energy and its own force within and of itself? Yes, it absolutely does. It has its own ups and downs, its own ebbs and flows. And that's why we talk about when you are operating in the flow, you have to go in with the flow of life, with the flow of all that is, right? You can't be, if life is going up, you can't be operating down here. And if when life is down here, you can't be operating up here necessarily, right? You have to go with the flow of life. It'll make it so much easier. But guess what? It comes back to the fact that you have the power. You can be in resistance to the flow of life if you want to be. It's entirely your choice. But the fact is, if you are in resistance to the flow of what is, to the natural cadences of life, right? You are going to have more difficulty. You're going to create more suffering for yourself because that's just the way the laws work, the laws of the universe. But you have the power at any moment. This is the beautiful thing, right? You have the power at any given moment to make a choice, to make a decision. In certain parts of my life in the past, and it will still creep up every now and then, but definitely in the past, so much. Everything felt like, I don't have any choices. I'm just trapped in this thing, right? It was a learned helplessness. And learned helplessness falls very much into that entrenched, there's nothing I can do. I'm powerless. And yet the fact is, if you want your life to change, you are the only one that can change your life. There is nothing external to you that is going to come in and swoop down and save and change your life from whatever is going on. I want you to think about you, saying yes to you. Love what makes you, you. The power of your words, the power of your thoughts, the power of your decision. What do you want to create? And your breath is the gateway. If you're struggling with some of this, start here with your breath. We're not going to go into that right now. But doing some deep breathing really helps you get clarity, really helps slow everything down, really helps bring you back to this place here. Because it is from within that our external world ends up being created around us. You are responsible, you are accountable, and you can take this all the way down to you are responsible for how you spend your time. You are responsible for the decisions you make. You are accountable for the decisions you make. Take ownership of all that stuff in both the good and bad, or however you want to describe that ways, right? And some people will look at that and be like, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with that. But you are the center of everything. You means that you have the power at any moment to make a new choice. If you don't like the way your life is going, if you don't like certain aspects of your life, that's okay. But guess what? You have the power, the ability to change that. In fact, you are responsible that if you're unhappy with life, it's not somebody else's responsibility to come in and make you happy. It's your responsibility to find out, why is it that I'm so unhappy? What am I dissatisfied with in life? What do I really desire? What do I really want to create in my life? What kind of life do I really want to have? You are responsible. You are accountable. It's all up to you. Again, working within the framework and the flow of all that is. Remember, you are the center. Everything begins with you. You can go out and you can be involved in a lot of things, but you ever notice how you're only maybe partially present? right? You are the one who's responsible for being actively engaged, for being present in whatever is going on. I know when I was in my earlier experiences of life, when I was talking about the learned helplessness thing, there was a good bit of the observer effect going on, because that's what was safe for me at the time, to observe the environment. Now, I was still participating, but I wasn't as fully present as I could be. And that impacted levels of happiness and satisfaction and quality of life and all of those things. And ultimately, no one was going to alter that dynamic except for me. I began looking at books and relationship books and different things. And at that time, all of the books were saying, begin here, begin with you. Not with changing the other person, not with changing the external things of your life, whatever those external things may be, but within yourself. Let's look at yourself. And it wasn't saying you are to blame or you are at fault or anything of that nature. It's saying you are the only person that you truly have any control or power over. If you want to make a change, it begins here. It begins with you. And that is a powerful, powerful thing. So give yourself permission. Give yourself permission and say yes to you. What is it you want to create? What is it that makes you you, that you love about you? Doesn't matter if anybody else loves those aspects of you or not. Get honest with yourself. Start taking your power back. You own your power when you start looking at yourself as this wonderful creation and saying, no matter what circumstances in my life, I have the ability in this moment to choose something different, to make a decision and then take an action to alter and change certain things in my life. All of that decision and action coming from within and then being pushed or being taken in the outer world, right? Take a moment to be thankful for you, to recognize the truth of who you are, to remember who you are, to remember the internal strength and the internal power that you have that lives within here. You were not a victim of anything. Those are simply stories that we tell ourselves. And sometimes, many times, those stories have ran their course. And it's time for you to remember who you are. Thank you.